We've been getting tons of questions on the property we bought on the Gulf Islands, so today we are answering the top 10 questions. Welcome back to our channel. If you are new here, I'm Katie.
I'm Steph.
Little Theo's on my lap. You probably can't see him.
I'm sure he'll make an appearance.
Hi.
He says hi now.
Theo says hi.
Yeah.
So if this is your first time on our channel, welcome. We are a married lesbian couple from Vancouver and the creators of Let's See the World. Yeah, so today we are answering the 10 most asked questions about our property, and if you are not caught up, we will do a quick little recap. But basically, we sold our house in Ontario in the fall of last year with the intention of reinvesting out here in BC, and we found the perfect property in the spring, and we officially closed on it at the end of May. So now we are just kind of figuring out what exactly we want to do. It's been very exciting for us. This has been like a lifelong dream, something we've wanted to do for years, so we're super excited. And yeah, we have lots of other videos if you want to get caught up. A tour of the property, meeting with builders, chatting about building a home on the property, everything like that. So go watch them and let's dive into the question.
Yeah. Okay, so the property we bought is vacant land. So there is no house, no structure, nothing on the property except for a well that was drilled maybe 30 years ago. So there is a service on the property, so we're not starting completely from scratch, but pretty much.
But there's also a picnic table on the property.
That's true. There was like a chair or two down by the water as well.
So not starting completely from scratch. Yeah, but the reason why we were looking at properties, like vacant land properties rather than a house, is basically we never would have afforded a waterfront house.
Yeah.
And the money that we had from the sale of our home, we knew it would be kind of our only opportunity to get in the market like this. So being able to buy a piece of land that we can kind of like grow into and build on later, to one day have that like amazing, beautiful dream home on waterfront land was kind of the idea. If we had waited any longer, we would have been completely priced out, and so this was really our only chance to do it.
As you can imagine, places on the water on the Gulf Islands don't come available all that often because people want to hold on to them.
Yes.
So yeah, we were really lucky to be able to get in when we did and get what we did, and we're very happy with that.
Yes. Yes, this is a question that we keep getting is where exactly is this property? What are the Gulf Islands and where are they? How far are they from Vancouver? Everything like that.
Most people probably aren't super familiar with BC geography. You may be more familiar with Washington State, so why don't I start there? If you've ever heard of the San Juan Islands, which are kind of off the coast of like Seattle, Bellingham, kind of like northern Washington State, basically the Gulf Islands of BC are kind of the same thing, but the Canadian version.
Yeah.
So just up from the San Juan Islands, all of those beautiful islands in Washington, we've got the same thing here in BC. So basically there are islands between the mainland of BC where Vancouver is and Vancouver Island where Victoria is, and they stretch all the way up the coast of BC. So the southern Gulf Islands, as you can imagine, are the closest ones to the US border, and there is a cluster that's basically between Vancouver and Victoria. So if you take a ferry from Vancouver to Victoria, you'll pass right by all those southern Gulf Islands.
So no, it is not our intention to move to the Gulf Islands, at least not right now. It has always been our intention to kind of have a balance of city life and island living. We really enjoyed when we did have our home in Niagara Falls in Ontario still, and we would split our time between the two places. That worked really well for us, and when we sold that house, that was our intention, was to get a place out here where we could split our time again, but somewhere that we can get out to more easily. We don't have to fly all the way to Toronto, and be able to use it more often and everything like that. So we are not planning on moving there, but also this is a property that we plan on having for, you know, many, many, many years, and we don't know what the future holds, but I do imagine that, yeah, in our lifetime, we will spend lots of time out there. I don't know that we would ever live full-time on the Gulf Islands, but never say never, just not right now.
Yeah, we definitely want something that is a bit of a balance, and having a place with a bit more space and, you know, just where we can slow down a little bit would be really nice. And of course, being on the water means lots of water activities. So
Yeah.
definitely more of like a vacation home kind of thing. And then still, of course, spending a lot of time in the city because we love the city.
Yeah, we are very much city people, but we also, at this point in our life, really enjoy the quiet and being out in nature, and the having both, I think, is just ideal for us. And so that's why this has been a goal for a long time. So yeah.
So yes, we are still planning on keeping our condo in the city. We absolutely love it here. We love spending time in the city. The nice thing about our building here is that it does allow for short-term rentals, which is actually quite rare for buildings in Vancouver. So we want to hold on to this one, and we like the idea of renting it out while we're gone.
Yeah, we bought this condo, this one. This is where we are right now, in 2019, and that was when we were still traveling a lot, pre-pandemic times, and the reason why this was the one was, because we could do rentals here as well. So this was a great investment, and we never really intended to live here full time, but we have been living here full time for the past couple of years because of COVID, obviously, but always with the intention of one day getting back to being a little more flexible and nomadic. And the nice thing about this place is that, we can rent it when we're not here. So the eventual goal is to spend some time here, spend some time at our property on the island, and also spend some time traveling and be able to kind of bounce around. So we don't have any intention of selling this place anytime soon.
Nope.
Yeah, so we've been getting this question a lot about which of the Gulf Islands, probably mostly from people who know the Gulf Islands a bit and are just curious which island it is that we bought on. But we are making the decision, at least for now, not to share which island and not to share exactly where the property is, just for safety reasons, and hopefully that's something that everyone can understand and respect, and we'll see what happens down the line, but that's just where we're at right now.
We had been keeping an eye on some listings that we had seen online, and we had kind of been paying attention to trends and prices and things like that, but we hadn't actually gone out to see any properties in person until this one. So this one was the first and the last.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with properties like this, it's not just around the corner. It takes time to go and look at them, and it's kind of like, an all-day event. So we didn't want to go look at anything unless we were serious about it, unless we knew it was right for us, unless we knew it was in our price range and everything like that. And we'd been keeping an eye on the trends, so we knew what was out there. And when this one popped up, it was like, okay, this might be our chance. Like, we gotta jump on it. So it was the first one we looked at, and the first one we put an offer in on, and everything like that. And we're still kind of keeping an eye on things, and we've seen what else is out there, and
just
it was
out of curiosity.
But it was the right choice for sure. Like, I have not seen anything comparable, nothing else that would have ticked all the boxes for us or anything like that. So sometimes
we're pretty happy with our choice.
Sometimes you just sort of know when it's the one. It was the same thing with this place. So
So loosely, the plan is to build on the property, of course. We did just film a video about this, so you can check that one out. That goes into a little bit more detail. But basically, we are going to take our time a little bit, and we are going to talk a little bit more in the future about some creative ways of using the land before we start the build, because it will be a long process, and we definitely want to be able to use the property in the meantime.
Yeah, the building project is going to be a big project. We talk about this in the other video, but probably not something we can really do in stages. It's just like one big project, and we're not quite ready to dive into that yet, but we're definitely looking at other ways we can sort of utilize the property for now and enjoy it. So we've got lots of plans. Lots of plans for this property.
Ideas.
Yes, and we will be sharing all of them soon.
So a dock would be awesome. There are neighboring properties that have docks. And when we were talking to the realtor, we haven't looked into this too much, but basically the realtor said that it's really, really hard to get a dock now.
Like to get a permit for it, because you need permission.
So they do need to give permission, and it's not impossible necessarily, but it is difficult. So the neighboring properties with docks have had those in for a long time, and they got permission a really long time ago.
Right.
Rightfully so, they're trying to protect the shoreline of these islands, so I totally get that. The nice thing about docks is that there are some really interesting, creative kind of floating docks and things like that are more temporary and don't disrupt the shoreline as much. So there's things that we can do like that if we can't get a permit for a dock, but that's definitely something that we're going to look into and kind of see. That would be nice for my future boat. But so we'll have to see on that. But The short answer is basically probably not a built-in dock, but probably something more temporary, like a floating dock that we can just like put in the water for when we're there and then kind of take out for when we're not.
So camping there would be a little bit tricky just because of the lack of services. We don't have a septic system in there yet. There's also nothing nearby in terms of like bathroom facilities or anything like that. There's also like a well, but you know, no way exactly to access the water yet. And there's no power yet. So if we just did like, I guess like tent camp, I don't know, like I suppose we could, but I don't think we would.
I think the best situation would be to have like an RV or something like that where you have like the water tank and a bathroom and everything like that.
Yeah,
and then you can,
and maybe that is something
that's probably what we would do, because it would be very, very off grid, and it would be a bit tricky to like bring out all those things, and just like for car camping or
it's doable obviously, but we wouldn't be able to do that for like any length of time really. Like, you know, we need power to be able to like work and all those things. So like sure, for a night or two to be able to just like go and enjoy it, we could absolutely do like car camping or something fun like that. But we also want to be able to go and spend like lengths of time there. So we are looking at ways to make that easier, whether that means like putting in some of the services sooner rather than later, or like looking at different things that we can do. We're not huge campers, so we don't have like all the things you would need to do like
that's true.
fully
we would need to get
off-grid
a lot of stuff.
camping.
Yeah.
Like we really don't have anything like that. Like you absolutely could, but we probably won't.
In short, the Gulf Islands are magical.
Yes.
There's just something so unique about this area, and a lot of the time, you know, you think of like small towns or rural areas or, you know, remote destinations as being a little bit more conservative and, you know, maybe not as, you know, welcoming. But the Gulf Islands are actually probably one of the most liberal, progressive places in Canada.
Yeah.
They're actually the first to vote a Green Party candidate into Parliament in Canada, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so cool.
And basically it's like a community of artists and just really super warm, friendly people.
Yeah, and very queer friendly as well. Obviously, that's important to us, being a lesbian couple. We don't want to move out of the city and go somewhere that's very, conservative. It needs to be somewhere where we're going to feel comfy living and being. The Gulf Islands really are special. I think we'll do a whole video sort of about like Gulf Island living, because there are so many like quirky little things that I feel like are so cool. Because if you've never been there, it's just hard to even put into words. But each and every time we go, we're just like, we love this place so much. It's just so unique and so magical, and just somewhere that we've always sort of seen ourselves. And we definitely also were looking at properties on Vancouver Island, which is like the main big island, also on like the Sunshine Coast and other parts of BC that are, you know, similarly like a ferry ride away kind of thing. But I don't know, we kept coming back to the Gulf Islands, and that was like the top choice. That was the dream, and we managed to do it. So we're very excited.
Okay, so those were your top questions. Hopefully we answered them sufficiently.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and make sure to leave a comment below. We always appreciate that.
Yes, and if you have any other questions, drop them in the comments. We will be making, tons more videos about the property. It's such a fun process for us to get to share. It's just, there's lots to do, lots to think about, lots of plans to make. So there will be more videos coming, more updates coming soon. And we will see you next time.
All right.
Bye.